Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 188. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Wednesday Motivation and Inspiration, and we're delving into races you may lose, but marathons you will win. And I've, said this in previous podcasts, but hey, you know what? It's time for me to immerse myself into this topic of discussion because it's important to me. So here we go. For starters, I'll backtrack 20 plus years ago because I ran track my senior year in high school. And I'm going to tell you guys a short story about my experience. Now, the start of this journey of running track had a lot of tough practices, conditioning, and getting our minds prepared for races. Notice I didn't say our bodies because it all starts with your mind first. And when you're tired and out of breath and feeling like you can't finish, your mind will push your body to finish a workout, and that leads to being able to finish a race if you happen to start slow. And that's what you train for, no matter if the race is 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, or even long distance. Now, the workouts for practice in high school were intense. Some days I'd go home sore and getting cramps in my legs, but by the time the season started, it was easy for me. Training was hard, but the races were easier because I was mentally prepared for what would be. I was training for a 2-month season, and that's the marathon. I didn't necessarily train for one race, I trained for multiple throughout a 2-month season and 12 track meets. Now, some races I did better than others, but as the season progressed, I continuously improved, and by the end of the season, I regretted not running track sooner. I always questioned what my apex would have been had I have started earlier in my high school career. But what I'm saying is you have to train your mind, which will lead to your body being in sync, and that's how you win the marathon. You will lose some races, but that's not the end. It's the end result of the marathon you're running to finish. The finish line takes some time to get to, and you have to train hard to get to that finish line and win. And basically, when you're running a marathon, it's all in your mindset. And not every day you're going to have it. But if you're consistent and disciplined, which is what so many people say when, they are on their journey or when they achieve success or they accomplish a goal that they want, it's the consistency and the discipline that you're doing to get you to where you want to be. And marathons are years, decades, even a lifetime of just continuously growing, becoming the best version of yourself, and being the best version for those that are around you. Whether you're in a leadership role or you're behind the scenes or whatever you're doing, the biggest part of all of this is knowing that your mind is going to take you further. There are days when my body's out of it and tired, but my mind will get me through what I need to get through, right? And I'm quite sure you guys have those days where your body is just not there. You're drained, you're tired, and your mind will get you through that last 30 minutes of things that you need to do or that last hour or whatever the case is. And once you get through that, then you're good. Same thing when it comes to working out and exercising. Your body's going to be tired, but your mind is going to say, well, you can do that one more rep. Or your mind's going to tell you, well, you can stay on that treadmill another 2 to 3 minutes, right? Because your mind is pushing your body to its greatest height, its greatest apex, right? If you're climbing a mountain, yeah, you're going to slip. You're going to go down a little bit, but you're still going to keep climbing that mountain, right? Because you want to get to the top to see the scenery and to be the one person that made it up there, right? So just know that on your journey, you're doing it as a marathon. You're not doing it as a race. I mean, you can finish a race and feel great, but that's not the end, right? The races are the goals that you're accomplishing, right? The marathon is the full work that you've done and all the races that you have ran and won and lost, and that's where you're getting to the top, right? Because you're not going to win every race, right? I mean, none of us are Usain Bolt or Carl Lewis, but you know, or Gail Devers, or you know, any other major track star that you can think of off the top of your head. There's visual faces that I can see in my head, but I can't put the names to the faces at the moment. But what I'm saying is focus on the marathon, uh, and know that everything that you do is getting you to where you want to be. And when you accomplish that big goal, and the lights are shining and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, congratulations," and all that great stuff, wonderful. Embrace that, you know, and be happy, but don't get complacent. Focus on that next mountain that you're gonna climb, or focus on those next races that you gotta run to finish that marathon that you're on, right? Because races are temporary, momentary. Marathons are the longevity of your career and what you're passionate for and what you want to do. And for me, I'm all about utilizing analogies in life, and utilizing, opportunities to say, okay, like if you're doing this, it's going to lead to this, right? Like I say, sacrifices lead to the success, right? So yeah, you're going to have to miss a couple of family events. You're going to have to miss a couple of dinners with your friends, right? In order to do certain things. I'm not saying don't go out at all. Like, don't become me, where you're a hermit and you're just like, no, I'm good. But I know for me, it's bigger for me. And a lot of people just aren't where I am from a mental standpoint as far as my goals and where I'm going. But anyway, I don't want to get into all that right now. Um, so be focused on where you want to go and where you want to be. And everything takes time, every single thing. But don't ever think that the marathon that you're on is not worth it. Don't ever think that no one is seeing what you're doing or no one's hearing what you're doing, because they are. They're just not acknowledging it, but that's really what it is. There are people that are motivated and inspired by you. They're just not going to flat out tell you, because it's an unfortunate way of thinking and how we operate in this world, that we cannot commend and appreciate people for what they're doing. And I'm like I said, I'm not doing things for awards and accolades. I just want to, inspire conversation, motivate, inspire, and get people to think, which is something that we really don't do enough of. We're just fed and inundated with so much information that we don't really have time to sit and process things and fully understand what the purpose of our lives are, because everyone is dictating what our purpose is. We haven't really dug deep and immersed ourselves into what am I good at and how can I impact others in the world. We're not really built here to make billions of dollars. That's just not reality. To be brutally honest, if someone is a billionaire, if you strip away all that money, a lot of them really don't have any purpose in their lives, if you really think about it. And I'm talking about the people that you love and adore so much. Trust me, all these famous people that you love, trust me, if all of that was to be stripped away from them tomorrow, the majority of them would not know what to do with themselves. Trust me, don't get it twisted. The millionaires and billionaires, they'd have no purpose in life at all. So it's why I really not someone who cares for the spotlight that much. I just want to be appreciated for carving my own path, doing what I want to do for myself, And I hope that you guys do the same, that you guys carve your own path and you guys do what you need to do for yourselves. And the marathon is fun. The race, you'll win, you'll feel happy for a brief moment in time. The marathon, you can at least sit back and look at all of the things that you've done, all of the sacrifices that you made, all of the hard work that you've done, all of the late nights, all of the early mornings, all of the sacrificing watching your favorite TV show or your favorite sports team or going to your favorite places all of the time and knowing that, you know what, it was worth it for me. So that's what I want you guys to do. Take the time to think about, do you want to just have temporary and momentary happiness with races, or do you want to experience the longevity and legacy of leaving something behind by utilizing your talents and gifts and going on that marathon? So I'm going to leave it at that because it gives you something to think about. And I'm going to end the podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. As always, be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.